Today we're going to do a camera comparison between the Galaxy S24 Ultra versus the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Now, taking a look at these photos, I feel like they both have their own characteristics. We know that the Pixel is pretty strict on the white balancing, so a lot of things that look white seems to be white. For the Galaxy, it's a bit more saturated and has a bit more punch. In terms of the zoom range, they both have the ultra wide, wide, and telephoto at 5x, but on the Galaxy you can zoom all the way up to 100x, which doesn't give you the best results, but you do have that nice zoom option if you need it. When it comes down to the telephoto, I think that the Galaxy is just a bit more sharper, and you can kind of see that once you start to zoom in a bit more at 30x. But that doesn't mean the Pixel is bad, it just feel like it looks just less processed from all that sharpening. Now, every time when I take pictures of food with these cameras, I always lean towards the Galaxy just because of that extra saturation it has that makes the food pop and it just looks a lot more delicious. Even if it's just like a more dull color like brown or white, for some reason it still pops on the Galaxy. Now, that doesn't mean that in person it looks closer to the Galaxy, it's just like when I'm looking back at these pictures, my eyes just gravitates towards the Galaxy and I like that more. So if I'm taking a picture to show my friends or post it online, then I feel like the Galaxy does attract more attention. As I'm taking pictures around the city, I feel like when I'm looking at the Galaxy, it seems to have the shadows a bit more lifted and mostly the black seems to be brighter, which I think is still personal preference since you can probably see more of an exposed picture on a Galaxy, but on the Pixel it may seem to be more natural looking. For the camera experience, the Pixel 9 Pro is a lot more smoother than last year's Pixel 8, so when I'm taking pictures, especially I've noticed it when I'm taking video, I'm seeing a lot less skipped frames, and as I'm panning around, it's just a lot more smoother. And for low light, I feel like things have switched here where on the Pixel, the shadow seems to be a lot more lifted, so the Galaxy seems to be more closer to the eye. And as I'm zooming in more and more, it seems like the Galaxy does look sharper and less noisy, especially at the 30x. Now for the colors, I feel like the Pixel 9 have a bit more greenish hue to it, but it does seem like it have the cleaner picture. As I'm looking at the sky, I can see a lot more noise on the Galaxy from ultra wide and the wide lens. Now for the front camera, I feel like this is where I got the biggest upgrade from the Pixel 9. On both of these phones, you do have the option to zoom out a bit, and on Pixel's more zoomed in option is the zoomed out option on the Samsung. So basically, now you can shoot a lot more selfies on the Pixel where you can show more background or with a couple more friends. Now moving on to video, for the ultra wide, it feels like it's a bit more wider on the Pixel, but on a Galaxy, it seems to have slightly better stabilization. For the colors, I still think the Galaxy still have that more saturation and punchiness to it, so it really depends on which one you prefer, not one is better than the other. Now when I switch to 5x on these two shots here, it doesn't seem like the Pixel switched over to using the 5x, it's like still stuck on the 1x and just zoomed in. The phone probably thinks that I still have enough light to be able to shoot with the 1x main camera lens, but clearly if you want the best quality, then make sure it switches over to the 5x. Because with the next shot, clearly you can see that it's a lot better, and the background seems to have more compression as well, and that's what I like to see. Now when I'm shooting in low light and just pointing at one single light source, I can tell that the lens flare is no joke. It goes across the whole screen, and that's something you may not like. And even shooting in the ultra wide, you can still see that lens flare going off. So just this single thing alone might turn you off from the Pixel 9. But if you're gonna shoot something more casual like a big building or just the city in general at night, then you won't really see it. So if you're mainly shooting with a lot of that scenery, then you don't really have to worry about it. As for the video itself, I feel like the Galaxy has a bit more better stabilization where I can see a lot less jitterness as I'm taking my harder steps. And for the final test here, it's just low light with the front facing camera, even though we know it's not the best. But I really enjoyed the wider look to it because it's just a lot less in your face feeling. So yeah, that is the comparison between these two phones. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.